Really big controversy tonight. Really big panel tonight, and we have all the time. We'll ask one opening question, I'll ask one opening question, and then it will be an open debate. So all ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the debate. I'm not going to go through opening remarks. That's going to take a lot of time because we have a big panel. I'll just ask one question to start with, then it's an open debate. Anyone can come in. Ranjana Kumari, Sanjay Hegde of the Supreme Court, Lalitha Kumaramangalam, Chairperson of India's National Commission for Women, Nalin Kohli of the BJP, Sumanth C Raman, Commentator from Chennai, Shazia Ilmi on one side, KTS Tulsi, Member of Parliament on the other side, also joined by Suresh Babu, General Secretary of the Kerala Congress, and C Rajashekaran, an advocate of the Madras High Court. They are backing Shashi Tharoor. KTS Tulsi, isn't it absolutely important now, imperative, that without fail, at the soonest, whichever Ayurveda center he is now in, Shashi Tharoor should be called in immediately for some serious questioning regarding the murder of his wife?
Well, of course, that is the decision which the police will take, keeping in view all the material that they have, which we are not privy to, because the media
well, there's a lot of material that the police is privy to, which Shashi Tharoor, I'm sure, is also privy to.
Yes, but you know, the SDM gave his report on 21st January of 2014, in which he said that the death of Sunanda could have taken place in three ways. It could be homicidal, it could be suicidal, it could be accidental. So it's not new that the homicidal angle has come in. Homicidal angle was always there.
So why is Shashi Tharoor stunned?
And that was the
in that case, Suresh Babu, why is Shashi Tharoor telling the whole world, I'm stunned that my wife could have been murdered? Mr. Babu of the Kerala Congress, why is Shashi Tharoor stunned? We are stunned that he is stunned, Mr. Babu. Why is he stunned?
I say this is a very mysterious affair. The death of a wife always is stunned to a person. And not only that, a person who is sitting in the very high elbow of affairs, it is a very, why?
Well, absolutely not. Absolutely not, Mr. Babu.
No,
because one second. Because I argue tonight that this case is always, as always from the start, Ranjana Kumari, do you agree? Let's open up the debate. From the start, this case has always pointed to Sunanda Pushkar's murder. Always from the start. Any doubt in your mind? Ranjana Kumari.
Your channel.
Yeah.
Arnab, your channel has, and we have joined in, all of us are saying that there is clear case. There was a pressure put, they tried to misguide. Enough is enough. Now this is clearly a murder case. Murder has been established in terms of that she died unnatural death. She did not commit suicide. 302 is case of murder. Now the persons responsible who had a motive to murder her, who would have been hurt by her statement, maybe the next day's press conference, maybe the IPL hanky-panky, maybe so there is nothing to be stunned by, the Shashi Tharoor's statement is really come to a kind of, it's a joke. I mean, doesn't he know he is the husband who should have been more keen, anxious, cooperating, talking, pressurizing the police to come up with a...
precisely.
Then Shashi Tharoor, who should have been doing that? The
Ranjana Kumari,
who should have wanted the answers was Shashi Tharoor.
I agree.
Why did he not come forward? And now what is he stunned about?
Well, we are stunned that Shashi Tharoor thinks the whole world is foolish and is going to be stunned. The autopsy report clearly said. In fact, I think today, right on the top of the debate, I think those supporting Shashi Tharoor are having second thoughts, including Mr. C Rajashekaran. Because Mr. Rajashekaran, since you had said you are supporting Shashi Tharoor, I don't know if you have any case left. After what has happened today, Sunanda Pushkar was not ill. She had no disease prior to her death. She was a normal, healthy individual. The cause of her death is poisoning. There's Alprax next to her body. It's unexplained. There is an unexplained presence of lidocaine on Sunanda Pushkar's apparel. There is anesthetic on her clothes, a local anesthetic. Who applied local anesthesia on Sunanda Pushkar? There were injury marks on her body. There was an injection mark. This was a professional job. Who professionally killed Sunanda Pushkar? Mr. Rajashekaran. Who, and would any husband, Mr. Rajashekaran, any husband would have wanted an investigation into the murder angle. Any husband would have wanted an investigation into the murder angle. Shashi Tharoor wanted the whole world to believe his wife died because of she had too much coconut water. I mean, is he crazy to expect anyone to believe that?
Arnab, keeping away emotions and politics out of this murder case.
No, where is the politics here?
You should look into the merit. See, there may be so many political angle being portrayed and being, in the public domain. But I don't want to go into the merit of the politics.
No, there is no politics. No. Lalitha Kumaramangalam, the National Commission of Women, is contradicting you. Yes, Ms. Kumaramangalam. Yes, Ms. Kumaramangalam is rebutting. It's an open debate.
Woman was murdered. She deserves justice.
No. Let me answer your question, Arnab. See, the fact of the matter remains, it has been found now after 354 days that Sunanda Pushkar is murdered. Fine, the perpetrators and the murderer should be charged and he should be arrested, remanded, everything is fine. But you cannot hypothetically accuse somebody for not committing any kind of crime before the investigation is over. So why jump into conclusions before?
Because his reactions are unnatural. I'm not. No. 1 second. You find Sunanda
jumping to conclusions.
One second. Lalita Kumaramangalam is rebutting you. Mr. Rajashekaran, Lalita Kumaramangalam rebutting you. Lalita Kumaramangalam.
Law does not go by emotions or any kind of.
Sunanda Pushkar died.
Yes, Ms. Kumaramangalam.
Look, Sunanda Pushkar died in extremely mysterious circumstances. Right from day one, the possibility that it could have been a homicide had been mentioned by the SDM. It's nothing new. As we all have been on your show itself, or not discussing this earlier, we have seen that there was very little sympathy for the poor lady who's now, it's been clear, has been murdered. Nobody is saying that Shashi Tharoor actually wielded the injection and killed her, but the fact is that he was her husband, the person who was supposed to be closest to her and who was one of the people who loved her the most. His reaction is quite odd now. Aside from that, even though it's a year since she has passed away, just a little over a year in fact, it's already been established that the Indian forensic laboratories do not have the capacity perhaps to be able to prove that this particular thing has killed her. And as Arnab has mentioned in his opening remarks, this is a very rare and a very, I think, very high-grade poison that was used to kill her.
Yes.
Also, we all know the history before she died. She was threatening to come out. And
yes.
Nobody really knows what she was going to say the next day. So to presume that Shashi Tharoor is totally innocent and totally shocked, I mean, like Arnab says, we are not all fools. I'm not saying he's guilty. That is the job of the police to prove who's guilty. But at the very least, he should come out and show some sort of, desire to see that justice is done to the woman who was his wife.
You see, what Shashi Tharoor should realize by now, A, he can't cry his way out of this. B, he can't hide his way out of this. Can he hide his way out of this, Nalin Kohli? Because she tells a newspaper one day before she dies, Nalin Kohli, and let's open this debate up. She says, I quote, I took upon myself the crimes of this man during IPL. I will not allow this to be done to me. Right? That does not mean suicide. That means she was going to come out with a revelation. She was telling people, everybody knew she was going to do a press conference at about 3 o'clock on the afternoon after she died. So there could have been interest groups that wanted to stop her. Then there were injury marks. Then on top of it, there was a teeth bite mark.
Goswami, in this particular case, I mean,
yes,
given the nature of both the people, that's Dr. Tharoor as well as Sunanda Pushkar, both of them being high profile, important in their own rights, and the fact that this entire death of hers raised so many questions in terms of what preceded it and thereafter what happened after her death. So therefore, obviously, questions will arise. The point here is we require clarity and closure in terms of the facts. So today, when the police has moved one step and said that it is an unnatural death, and therefore they are raising it under unknown persons under 302. They will need to establish a motive and they will need to understand who those perpetrators are. And of course, what Lalitha ji has just said, the critical point is about polonium, which is not exactly what you would call the run-of-the-mill poison.
No, it's a
If that's the
professional
case
job.
of poisoning, which eventually I'm sure the investigation has to confirm, that means it raises the questions even more, because it's something that you wouldn't get really off the shelf from a local chemist or something like that. So therefore, this requires closure, and certainly questions would be asked. And I think perhaps one of the things, as Dr. Tharoor himself has said early on last year and probably has reiterated it, he needs to cooperate with this and there has to be closure. Otherwise, I
He's
feel that this is
painting
going
himself
to,
the victim.
well, this is going to
No,
lead
he's
to a lot of
painting
questions
himself
being
the victim
consistent
here, Sanjay Hegde. All I have seen from Shashi Tharoor
Well,
is
I mean,
painting
whether
himself
someone
the
is
victim.
guilty, Mr. Goswami, whether someone is guilty or not, or innocent, we have to leave that to the criminal first, the investigative process, and then the judicial process.
but you have
so
to
we
be-
can't really preempt that, and we shouldn't do that.
No, absolutely
But what
not.
certainly is required is that the investigative process.
No,
yes, so the
absolute-
investigation process
Yes,
coming to a point where
Yes.
it has become sort of definitive
only on this
in the
day,
filing of an
excuse me,
FIR
only
on
on this day it has
302.
been
The need is now to
confirmed that this
take
is a
it
murder.
further and arrive at what I use the word is closure, not in terms of the a closure of an
Sir,
FIR,
Miss-
but closure to the issues that are being raised.
I agree with you. Mr. Babu, have some patience, understand the issue. Here is the situation. Sanjay Hegde, let me draw you in, and Sumanth Raman. First to Sanjay Hegde. And come into the debate. Don't have to wait for me because, I'm not going to go through initial rounds. It's an open debate.
Okay.
My question is, here is the situation, Sanjay Hegde. A woman who is not unwell dies. And she dies suddenly. She has no major disease pointing toward death. There is unexplained medicine, Alprax. There is unexplained presence of anesthetic. There are 15 injury marks on her body. There is an injection mark on her. And on top of it, there is a bite mark that somebody also bit her. And then you have her husband who says, no, this is not likely. She probably died because she had too much coconut water on an empty stomach. And for 1 year, Shashi Tharoor, not an unintelligent man, is going around spreading this theory that she probably died of lupus. We have papers with us. I have papers here. I have medical reports from the Kerala Institute of Medical Sciences which says there was no lupus. I have with me the medical records and the opinions in this case which rule out the possibility of a pre-existing disease. So there is something suspicious here.
Let's just lay out the facts. I agree that there might be suspicious behavior, but suspicion and proof are two different things. Firstly,
Yes.
it is more or less evident that the couple were not getting along. She checked into a hotel. This thing starts around New Year last year. She
thing?
dies on the 17th.
No, what thing?
But on the 17th, Shashi Tharoor is in a very public meeting.
Yeah.
So it is evident that at the time of the death, he was nowhere near her. Now, what?
No, but nobody is saying he killed her. Nobody is saying
that point of the inquest,
Lalitha
all three
Kumaramangalam
possibilities were open.
No, nobody is saying. Lalitha Kumaramangalam
Absolutely.
is not saying that he killed her. That's not the question.
Arnab,
I was very clear. Nobody is saying he.
Can I make a point?
Actually,
No. Nobody is saying.
They,
Now the question is.
We never said he
what has
personally
happened
killed her.
is
No, we haven't said
the
that.
possibility
Arnab, can I make a
that the
point?
investigators are working on has been narrowed. The investigators
Arnab.
have now decided on their theory of investigation that it was a homicidal death.
Absolutely.
Now, after this homicidal death, they have to establish not only who killed her, whether there was any conspiracy before her death. So these are the leads. These are the areas of investigation.
We are getting a counter from Sumanth.
Have to examine everyone.
Mr. Sanjay Hegde is saying, just a quick point, also motive has to be found, because the minute you are moving into murder or attempt to murder, motive or mens rea is going to be
absolutely.
equally important.
Agreed.
The intent or what is really the motive
Agreed.
behind it.
Agreed.
So therefore, the scope has now
Arnab.
narrowed in terms of homicidal,
but
but it
absolutely.
opens up questions
Absolutely.
related to that.
Agreed.
No, what's it? Sumanth C Raman. Sumanth Raman.
Yes.
there is a-
Arnab, I just
Arnab,
want to
if I
make
may-
a point
if
about
I
the
may come in.
appalling manner in which this investigation has been going on. Look, after a year, we are now being told that she was poisoned And what was the poison? We do not know. If they know, they haven't told us. But certainly, we have not been told what the poison was. Right? So, if we do not know what the poison was and we are sending Visala abroad now for forensic analysis, then how do we know she was poisoned in the first place? Or is it the information is known to the Delhi police and they are not telling us the name of the poison? Second, this polonium thing has been going around ever since Dr. Swami put it into the public domain. Now, how are the AIMS specialists saying that they have some evidence to show that polonium was found or they suspect it?
Sumanth,
are they even competent to identify? Look,
Sumanth, let's look at the theories. Let's look at the theories. Okay, Shazia wants to make an opening remark. We'll go to her and then we'll open it up. Yes, Shazia. Shazia.
No, but look at the situation.
So she was poisoned with a poison we don't know.
Been murky, which is why now they're making it out to be a murder case. But the investigation process, the criminal investigation process, indeed has to be questioned, because there have been so many flip-flops, U-turns. There has been so much scope for confusion and manipulation. And when the police chief himself says that the samples have to be sent abroad, means we don't even have proper laboratories for best forensic analysis. So there is definitely more that meets the eye. Also, that our investigative process of any sorts can be besmirched by political patronage and political interference.
Ask him how he says it, he knows it is polonium.
So I think that also needs to be looked at.
Sir, who spread the lupus theory?
Can be only
no, you say call the doctor. You say call the doctor. Before that, I want to show something to the viewers now. Please look at this paper. Look at this paper. Look at this paper.
See,
this is no 1 second. Please hold this up. I'm holding it up. Look at this. Look at this. This is the subsequent medical opinion in the case of late Sunanda Pushkar. I have all the 12 pages with me. They are signed by Sudhir Gupta out here.
Right.
I called Sudhir Gupta. He's not responding to my phone call. So it's not like I'm not trying the doctor. But what does it say? Now we know that a doctor friend of Shashi Tharoor
self-insinuated.
A doctor friend of Shashi Tharoor, Anil Gupta in Dubai on February 12th tried to push the lupus theory, saying Sunanda had told a friend she had been diagnosed with lupus by a lupus expert and thus would bruise easily. So an argument was being made on why she had so many bruises on her body, right? So there was a theory being floated that if she bumps into a piece of furniture, she'll be bruised.
No,
1 minute. As if Sunanda Pushkar was a person who just would be bruised all over. Now somebody there, listen to the thought process here. Somebody there, Shazia and Sumanth, is trying to explain why she had so many bruises in her body. Lalitha Kumaramangalam, that somebody would only be somebody who knew she was bruised. Who would know she was bruised? The police would know.
Why are you focusing on that?
No, the police would know. The police would know, or those who knew the murderers would know, the murderers would know.
Look, Arnab.
Sumanth, look at this paper. Sumanth, look at this paper. 1 second, Sumanth. Sumanth, look at this paper. Sumanth, look at this paper. 1 second. Sumanth, Sumanth, I have with me the Kerala Institute of Medical Sciences paper.
I want to add a point here.
Sir, 1 minute.
Yes, Arnab.
Sir, you know.
Nobody is denying that.
Sir, look at hard facts. Look at hard facts, and if you think there's a mystery here, if you think Shashi Tharoor should be investigated, tweet now.
You have to look at the post-mortem report. You have to look at the post-mortem report, the Viscera report, the toxicology report.
This one second. When did she die?
You have to investigate, Arnab. The point is, what is the
KTS
point
Tulsi
that has emerged in the last few days to change the opinion of the team?
Mr. Sumanth C Raman, everything is not about a point of argument. It's for science. Sumanth, 1 minute. I have with me.
It's just a matter of fact.
1 minute. I have with me a piece of paper which said she had no diabetes, she had no cardiac arrest, she had no celiac disease, and this piece she had no TB. And by the way, please look here. Please look here and ask the viewers can tell me if I'm making this up. It says she had no disease called lupus. Husband does not know she had no disease called lupus.
Arnab,
husband does not know
at all.
Husband does not know. Shashi Tharoor did not know she didn't have lupus. The doctors at AIMS are saying, look here, 1 second.
Look, Arnab.
Which suggests she was not having the disease lupus.
Let me tell you this.
1 second.
Arnab
was made murkier.
Arnab, give me 30
These reports suggest she was. Listen to me, please. Look at this. These reports suggest she was not having lupus.
Can I please?
Arnab.
Can I please take 30 seconds? One minute, Arnab. Arnab, 1 second.
Why are these friends of Shashi Tharoor trying to push this lupus angle?
No friends of Shashi Tharoor. 1 minute, Arnab, 1 minute. One minute. Look, in an autopsy, there are only 4 or 5 causes of natural death where people die suddenly. Pulmonary embolism, myocardial infarction, intracerebral hemorrhage, and so on. These will all be picked up in an autopsy. So obviously, it is an
Sumanth, don't complicate it. It's very simple. It's very simple. Somebody tried to lie. Somebody was lying.
Arnab, 1 minute.
Why would somebody... Shazia wants to say something. Shazia, please. Sumanth, please. 1 minute. Shazia and Lalitha Kumaramangalam are coming into the debate. Shazia, please. 1 minute. Let Shazia come in. Shazia.
It is fairly...
One minute, Mr. Arnab.
Arnab, it is fairly evident. It could be either homicide. It is...
Lalitha ji put his own color and opinions into the investigation.
Did Shashi...
See, it's fairly obvious.
That's no problem.
But Arnab, yes.
Shazia, let Shazia speak. Let Shazia.
Arnab, it is fairly obvious now that it was either homicide or suicide or it was an accident, as the police chief himself says.
Can't be an accident.
Now to make all the theories about lupus, this, that and the other is convoluting the case and making the business even murkier. So why not?
Exactly.
So I don't think anybody... So, and why I'm saying there is no objectivity where this case is concerned, because everybody who seems to be a friend of Mr. Tharoor or from Congress party seems to espouse either the lupus theory or the suicide theory. Anybody who's on the opposite side, like Nalli Singh or Subramaniam Swamy, seem to talk about the homicide theory. So what I'm saying is, if the investigation was sure and not so tardy and efficient and timely and not guided by any political patronage.
I want to show another piece of paper.
It would not have mattered.
No, I'm now showing another exhibit on the Newshour. Please pay some attention to the screen. 1 second. I will now start putting paper after paper. And Shashi Tharoor, how long will you hide, Shashi Tharoor? How long? I'm asking Shashi Tharoor today. How long, Mr. Shashi Tharoor, will you hide? No, there has to be a limit to this. How much can you hide? This paper which I have, Mr. Shashi Tharoor, tells me that your wife did not have lupus. This is your wife's last medical checkup report from the KIMS. Okay? Where doctors, in fact, I have with me, if I turn on, I'll tell you her medical prescription papers also I have. Here it is. Here it is. These are her papers. One of them is an anti-acidity medicine. Okay, and this is what it says. My investigation tells me that the doctors at the Kerala Institute of Medical Sciences said, and I quote, "We cannot find she had been suffering from any serious health problems. Like any other person these days, she had come for a complete checkup. She has only been given simple medicines." If you're a doctor, see this. These are simple medicines she was given. She was not dying of any disease. But Shashi Tharoor has spent a considerable amount of effort trying to explain she had lupus, and then he went on to say it could have also happened. You know, there's another male theory that she drank too much coconut water on an empty stomach, so her heart rate slowed down and she died.
Arnab.
No, I mean, this is ridiculous.
Arnab, please.
No, please.
No, Arnab.
The third theory was that she had an autoimmune disease.
Forget about Shashi Tharoor. Forget about Shashi Tharoor. This is much more important.
Shashi Tharoor is her husband.
Because
Shashi Tharoor is her husband.
No. I'm talking about. I'm talking about the way an investigation is being carried out in such an important or high-profile case. And I think
who was in power
in this case.
Who was in power when the investigation was going on? Lalita Kumaramangalam. Nalin Kohli is coming back. Nalin Kohli, please. Nalin Kohli after that.
Nalin Kohli. Just a moment. Yes, sir. May I just make a point?
Nalin Kohli, please. One at a time. Nalin Kohli.
One is the nature of investigation. 1 minute, please. May I just have? The nature of investigation in any crime is such that it is required to look at every possible angle, and what may seem at first as flip-flops could also be rejection of various alternatives that were propounded at the beginning of the investigation. What is important is that today the police has narrowed that scope down to a homicidal angle, and with that they are saying we need to now go into further detail. The second point is that with regard to Dr. Tharoor or Sunanda Pushkar, the fact that they were both high profile, the questions are bound to come out because A, Their relationship was rather public. They were public personalities. They enjoyed a presence in the public space that many people would want, sought to emulate also, whether it's the social media and all. So therefore, asking questions is not necessarily accusing.
Yes.
But it certainly doesn't remove the possibilities of those questions being asked.
No, because if it was a professional job, one second. And I realize today Rajashekaran, Suresh Babu and KTS Tulsi's arguments are failing on the Newshour. And the reason is this. Because if we look at Lalitha Kumaramangalam, even what the investigating officer did, I'm not saying anyone in power at that point carried out the murder. But I'm surprised when I look at the lack of cooperation from the investigating officer. Photographs of the scene of the crime were not submitted by the investigating officer. The bed sheet, the mattress on which Sunanda was found was not sent for forensic analysis. The police investigation was not thorough to start with. Why? Who was hiding what?
Exactly.
Who was hiding what? Who is so powerful? Who is so powerful? Who was so powerful then that they had the power to influence the investigation?
Arnab,
To conduct her
Lalitha.
rights. Many people questioned even that at that time. Arnab, let's not forget a few things that we seem to be overlooking now. That one of the doctors who conducted the autopsy actually came out a few months after that and said that he was pressured into giving something like a clean sheet.
Yes.
Secondly, many people had commented that Sunanda's body was, they cremated her in almost unseemly haste. In a case that was so murky and so suspicious, the police had not conducted a thorough investigation. It was almost a facile investigation at that time. And I'm not talking here as a politician. Too many women in this country are sort of almost dispensed with due to various reasons. And maybe, I'm not saying Shashi Tharoor is guilty, but maybe he feels that he did not do enough to prevent his wife from being killed if he is not the killer. And maybe that is why he is not able to really come out and articulate whatever may he want to say.
Arnab,
the fact is that there is also a law in this land
Sanjay Hegde.
where the men are automatically...
Okay, no, one second. Mr. Rajashekaran.
They are not answering the fundamental question. We are now saying investigating team is basically saying
that the woman died of poisoning. That is the theory right now.
Sumanth,
now the question is how do you substantiate
one at a time, Sumanth.
No, the investigating team is saying that she was poisoned. By what poison, we don't know. I mean, if you don't know what poison it was, then how do you know she was poisoned?